Let's try it out. Daniel. What's up, Daniel?
What's going on, y'all? Tonight, got to be here in New Orleans and watch the team clinch the division. And I mean, just a couple thoughts. Um, the first was, uh, so me and my wife, we live here in the South. We live in Mississippi, so this is the closest place we can go to a game.
Nice.
So the only games that we've been to past couple of years were tonight, and then a game in New Orleans last year. And so the game last year was last October when Luke Walton was the coach. And we sat right behind the bench last year, right behind the bench tonight. And the culture difference between the two games was absolutely night and day. Absolutely night and day. Like, I will never forget last year, we were playing bad on defense. We ended up winning the game last year, but we were playing pretty rough on D, and Luke just lost his mind, yelled a bunch of just garbage, and broke a clipboard. And that was his coaching. And tonight, like all night, no matter what happened, it was an absolute team effort. Whenever someone came off the floor, high fives everywhere, encouragement everywhere. Like, no matter what, it was an absolute team effort. And it was so unbelievable. And I looked at my wife, who really doesn't know that much about basketball, and she was like, this is so different. And I think I understand why this team is good. And I think it was actually really profound, where someone who doesn't understand the game at maybe a fundamental level could even see a difference. Because that's how different this team is. And that's how different the coaching staff is and the players are. And that is why this team is different. And, like, maybe that's hard to quantify or to show, like, on paper why this team is so different than past teams. But it was an absolute eye-opener that this team is so different than past Kings teams. And it was just unbelievably encouraging. And so just really wanted to share that.
Dude,
I love that
thank
story.
Thank you. Yeah, that is, I love, well, I just love that, obviously you notice the difference, but for someone like your wife, like you said, who doesn't just know the game of basketball fundamentally and could sense and feel that difference. And that's why when we talk about culture and the importance of it and the impact that it can make, not only on obviously the people that are being directly impacted with it, but the people surrounding it, even as a fan for you guys.
Also, how did you become a Kings fan? Did you grow up in Sacramento? Did you adopt the Kings later?
Great question. I get asked it all the time. So I grew up in Birmingham, Alabama, and Birmingham is kind of split right in the middle between New Orleans, Memphis, Atlanta. And like, I was in middle school and I decided, like, I don't want to be a fan of any of those teams. I don't have a hometown team. So let's choose a team that no one else is a fan of. And that was the Sacramento Kings. Because in Alabama, no one was a Kings fan, to be honest. And here we are, 300 plus games, however many games I've watched, following the Kings, for 14 plus years, tracking the Kings and not making the playoffs and finally making them. It's been a long, long road, and I've stuck with them, and it's been really, really good for me.
Wow.
And it's been a joy. And so it was like an absolute honor to be there tonight. So, yeah, great question.
Wait, so you weren't a fan when they were good?
No, absolutely not. I mean, of the 16 years, I guess I've been a fan for 14. Been following, have had league pass the entire time because that's the only way, I can watch the Kings.
Sure.
It's not local. It's, but yeah, hundreds of games following them, and everyone around me thinks I'm crazy. Why are you a Kings fan? Why are you a Kings fan? And tonight, sending pictures right behind the bench to my friends, they're like, we are so happy for you. It really was an incredible thing.
Dude.
Wow. That is, you deserve that, all of that love, because I'm sure too, what you're experiencing as a sports fan, this come up, this journey of what you witnessed for so long and then feeling what you're feeling this season, it has to be the greatest feeling. I mean, I know that's what we're all feeling right now. So I'm so happy for you though that you got to experience that in person tonight.
And I really hope you can get to Sacramento and see him in person one of these times.
It is an absolute bucket list item to go to Sacramento. Absolutely. And if I'm totally honest, part of me hopes that the playoffs somehow end up in New Orleans because, okay, let's be honest, ticket prices here compared to there are insane.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm not kidding. The seat right behind the bench tonight is cheaper than the get-in price against the Warriors in a couple games.
No.
In Sacramento.
Yeah,
That is how
insane.
different it is. It is so night and day. I mean, one day I will make it to Sacramento. And playoffs in Sacramento, unfeasible. But if it's here, I don't know. Maybe the Lord's showing some favor here. I won't deny it.
Dude, I love your energy, Daniel. And I'm so glad that you get to enjoy this. It's really cool that you just randomly picked the Kings and you've been cheering on. You said Mississippi, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Wow.
Jackson, Mississippi.
Wow.
And also, you mentioned Alabama. Shout out Jared Wallace, old King. Who
Oh, come on, baby. Childhood favorite.
Yeah, from Alabama, of course. I love hearing these stories. This is what the coolest part about doing this podcast live is being able to talk to Kings fans from all over. You know, we all assume, oh, it's just Sacramento, right? No, like people watch the Kings all over the world, and they all have different stories as to how they became fans, and that's badass, man. I hope we can catch up with you again down the road, and yeah, if you ever get to Sacramento, let us know.